evening to everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Gem Hunter Show. My name is Barry Mixon. I am your host, and I am the Gem Hunter and a gemological storyteller. For the last 5 weeks, we have been talking about the 8 elements of storytelling. Let me just do a recap for those of you who are new to the show. The first element is once upon a time. It's when you have created the template for your story, for understanding stories. The next is sound. Sound is your initial direction. It tells you, it's the beginning of where you begin to start thinking about the direction in your life or what you want to do. Passion is the excitement that you feel when you have start working towards that goal, whatever it may be. The hero is can be you or someone else, but the hero is the bridge between you and your story and the audience. The audience has got to feel you. The audience has got to believe whatever you're doing. If I wouldn't necessarily be a great hairdresser because I'm not the hero of my own story. No one would necessarily come to me based on having a bald head. The next element is the antagonist, which is what we talked about last week. The antagonist is the obstacle. It is the adversary. The antagonist can be internal or external, but the antagonist is the most important part of the story. You don't have a story without the antagonist. The antagonist is the thing that you must get over, you must overcome in order to move on to the rest of the story. And today, I'm really excited because today we're going to talk about probably the most beautiful of all the elements. Today we're going to talk about that element that this is the part in the movies that you cry about, at least I do. This is the part when when it starts to all come together. And that element is called awareness. Awareness is that moment that you realize that all the things that you have done in your life thus far has led to this moment. Awareness is that moment in your life. It could come early on in your life or it could come decades later, but it is that moment in your life when you begin to understand in a deep and spiritual way that you understand that this is not something, whatever you're doing, this is not something that you can do. This is something that you have to do. That you begin to understand that your whole purpose on earth is to do whatever you're doing. In sports, they call it being in the zone, where you become unconsciously conscious of where you are. And awareness is when you become conscious of where you are and what you're doing. And it's so beautiful to get to that moment in your life because it's almost as if the sun starts to shine, even on a cloudy day. And as I started to think about what I was going to say, what did awareness mean for today's episode, I was reminded that this is the last show for the month of January. And it's really interesting for me to get to this point because January is the birthstone for January is garnet. These are some of the examples of garnet. Now, when most people think about garnet, let me take out my teacher's rule. When most people think about garnet, they're thinking about this one right here. And that is a garnet. That's called amandine garnet. But what you need to understand about garnet is a perfect example of not only awareness, but as some of you may know, I am in the process of writing a book that brings together, that connects, actually is my research, what is the connection between gemstones and women? And the perfect example, the quintessential example of women to me using gemstones as a template is garnet. Because garnet is not even a gemstone name in and of itself. Gemstone, I mean, you think of it as a gemstone garnet, and you usually think of this one or either these two, almandine or pyrope. Okay, two varieties. But garnet comes in 17 different varieties, 12 different colors. In fact, garnet is what garnet represents is a gemstone that it's on its molecular basis, molecular formation changes. And has anybody who's ever spent any time with any woman, starting with your mom, you know that women and change is it's a symbiotic relationship. And the thing that makes garnet so, in fact, garnet is so amazing a gemstone that there's 6 different structures. I can't even count today. There are 6 different structures that all gemstones, all crystal has. Garnet has 5 of them. So again, comes in 17 different varieties, 12 different colors, and formulates 5 different molecular structures. Garnet comes from the Latin word granulus, which means it's the Latin word for pomegranate, because garnet looks like a pomegranate seed, more of this one, the pyro, than anything else. And what makes garnet so amazing and why it fits into the whole concept of understanding awareness, because awareness is, like, as I said, it's that moment when you realize who you are and what you're supposed to do. Garnet actually comes in, when you say garnet, you're not talking about one gemstone, you're talking about a group of gemstones. And what makes garnet different than any other gemstone is garnet has literally 2 different molecular structures, which is based on a very similar structure. On one side, group A, let's call it, group A has and I won't get too much into the chemistry of it, but group A has a structure of X, Y, and a silicon. Those of you who remember your 8th grade chemistry, silicon is SiO, silicon and oxide. So XY silicon. The other, group B, also has an XY silicon structure. In group A, the silicon, the X is a variable and the Y is a constant. And in group B, the X is the constant and the Y is a variable. And the thing that makes garnet change, the thing that creates all the different colors, even though it has a similar basic structure, is whatever you put into that variable position changes the color. Not only changes the color, but changes the effect that the gemstone has, not only to the way it looks, but also the way it affects people. As you know, that jewelry, all jewelry started because of the belief that gemstones had a magical property, had healing properties, can excite the soul. But garnet is truly amazing because garnet touches the creativity of the person. Garnet, in fact, garnet was, when you look in the Talmud, garnet is listed as the only light that was on Noah's Ark. Every one of these garnets have a different type of effect on people. And one of the things that garnet literally is the gemstones of creativity. It is the gemstone of power and beauty. Kings and queens would often use garnet in their crowns to elevate their creativity. Some garnets, like Savorite garnet, which is the green one, the green ones that are considered Savorite or Gauchiner garnets. And these are, in fact, let me read to you. It literally says that garnet helps you overcome scarcity and a lack of self-worth. So when you think about all the things that women have done in your life, starting with your mom most of the time, I think gardening is a perfect representation of that, because part of your awareness as a person started with, and many times, your mom. Your mom was the person who told you those stories. Your mom was the person that held you in her arms and began to get you to see who you are. Now, you could have different variations of that. My mom was a gunnery sergeant, so the way she brought it to me was different than maybe a lot of other moms who brought cookies and said, "Oh, I love you," things of this. But the building process was there. Awareness is when you are no longer bothered by outside forces, because you know what you're here for. You know what you're supposed to do. In superhero movies, you can always tell the part where awareness happens, because that's when the music changes. That's when you have that uplifting, because awareness is a spiritual moment. And it feels like nothing that you can ever possibly imagine. This is a dream for me. When I was, as I said, 28 years ago, when I was homeless, I made a promise to God that if I ever got out of homelessness, which I didn't think I ever was, but if I ever got out of homelessness, I would spend the rest of my life helping people discover the value of their story. And to be honest with you, I had no idea how I was going to do that. That's where gemstones came to the forefront for me. People ask me, why did you start studying gemstones? It was never about the bling bling for me. It was about what people did to get it, the way people feel about gemstones. And the reason why I'm writing this book about gemstones and women is because, not that guys can't exhibit some of the same characteristics, it's just that gemstones are beautiful, and I tend to think that women, no matter the race and color or creed, are beautiful elements in this world that we live in. So to me, the connection is clear. When you see Savorite, when you see Amandine, when you see Hessonite with this orange or spessartite, hard to say some of the words, which is the orange, the orange variety of garnet. You begin to see how women, yes, women are women. They all have noses and eyes and ears and legs and things like this, but a woman embodies a whole gambit of different characteristics. The basic structure is a woman, but like a garnet can change. A woman can change who she is and what she wants to do. And basically, not just her character, but on a molecular level. And for the rest of the time in this program, some of you was wondering, where does the gem hunter, where does gemological story come in? This is where it begins with garnet. And every week I will give you a different type of gemstone, because every gemstone has its own power. And my research is that power is not based on just metaphysics. That power is based on real science, real molecular science, which for a structure or a substance like a gemstone, it deals with the molecular structures. With humans, our molecular structure can change. And when I say molecular structure, I'm not talking about just our arms and legs. I'm talking about our minds, our spirits. Awareness is when you begin to realize that all the stuff that you've gone through in your life happened for a reason. Now, it didn't feel comfortable then. It might have been a really bad situation. But because of that situation, it began to make you think and realize. And now you are using what was before a bad situation. Now that thing that you're using, that thing that you've experienced in the past, now you're able to use it in a positive way. Again, superhero movies, Batman, Superman, all right, there's always that moment of awareness. Even in Star Wars, awareness is where Darth Vader's going down the tunnel of the Death Star. All the other guys have been taken out. Darth Vader is right on his 6 o'clock position, sighting in. I've got you now. And that's when he hears, despite all the turmoil that's going on around him, despite the fact that he is literally ready to be vaporized, just like all the rest of the members of his squadron, and he hears in the back of his mind, use the Force, Luke. Let go, Luke. That's awareness. That's awareness. When you begin to just see what you can do in this world. And it's awareness is so exciting. I hope and wish and pray for everyone who's watching this broadcast to get to that point, or hopefully you've already reached that point where you realize what you're doing is so important. I don't care what you're doing. If you're making cookies, those cookies are what you were supposed to do, if that is your thing. If you're a firefighter, if you're a mom. As a man, I marvel at America's mom, who has, I don't know, in my mind, 10, 15 kids, and yet she gets on this broadcast with Barbara and speaks about organization and peace and harmony, the things she did, despite having all these children. That's awareness. That's awareness. And I think in so many cases, women exhibit that. Not that men don't, but women exhibit that because oftentimes they're forced into a situation where if they don't do it, nobody's going to do it. It's not going to come about. And I think awareness as part of the story, I think awareness is extremely, not only just important, but extremely beautiful, because when you get there, if you're fortunate enough to live your life in such a way where you've reached that level of awareness, and if you ever listened to the 1812 Overture, or heard some of my workshops, storytelling workshops, that's the part where you hear the music, dun, 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 just opens up. The sky, the sun just opens up. Listen to the last 4 minutes of the 1812 Overture, and you tell me, homework assignment, where you tell me where you feel where awareness is. It's that moment where you know that you could do this all day long. So when I study, there are 3,000 different gemstones in the world. And as a gemologist, I have to study all of them. And the reason why, for me, it's fun is because each one represents a human characteristic. Each one represents something that we all have to go through. And I want to talk about gemstones. And I talk about gemstones not just from the scientific point of view. You know, I mean, it's boring when you think about what a garnet actually is. A garnet is basically, let's say, this orange one is manganese, aluminum, silicate. And it doesn't sound like much, but this gemstone here has created wars. Not created wars, but it was the reason why people fought for it. It's the belief, the power of what gemstones do. And that's why we wear pendants. That's why we wear earrings, because we as human beings wanted to embody the power that is imbued in gemstones. And there's always a question of, well, whether it's real or it's a pseudoscience. But as a gemologist, or as a person, think about it. How many times we have people who have favorite socks or lucky hats or lucky things that they do. And so the power of that sock or that door or that ring or that shirt, that shirt does not have the power. You imbue it with that power. So when you are aware of a certain gemstone having a certain type of power, then that when you wear it, that gemstone's power is imbued in you. And it's easy to say that it's not true or that's just metaphysics or something like this, but think about it. And this is the thing that fascinates me about gemology. How is it that you can have one gemstone, let's say jade. Jade is highly revered in Asian cultures, China, Japan, but it's also highly revered in pre-Columbian Middle America. Okay, we're talking 12th century, 13th century, pre-Columbian Middle America, and it's also highly valued in the Maori tribes around, or cultures in Australia and New Zealand. So how is it that two or four different cultures, not only four different cultures, but four different time periods over thousands of miles, how did they all come together and feel the same way about a gemstone? So today is awareness. Next week, we will be talking about how your awareness of who you are is transmitted to other people. And that's called transformation. If you have any questions or any gemstones that you want like for me to look at, please go to send me an email, thegemhunter@mac.com, and we will discuss the gemstones and the power of that gemstones and answer that question. So until then, thank you for coming to the show and discover the value of your story.
Hello, hello, and hello, wonderful, wonderful people out there. Yes, this is Barbara Beckley, and this is the Diamond Factor Experience. We just had a wonderful, as always, every Wednesday, Barry comes on and just tells us about the gems relating to women, relating to relationships, relating to your stories. Barry, thank you so much for always coming on and giving us that insight, because I'm telling you, I'm learning so much. I never knew about gemstones all of this time in all my years. I'm not gonna tell my age, but it's been a while. And just to get the history and the information and to understand the power of your stories. It is just so important. I totally agree with Barry, and I always tell people your stories are so important. And that's going to go right into our next section of the show, which I'm getting giddy, I'm getting excited. I'm like a little kid. So we have, for the last few Wednesdays, I've been bringing on another platform called Celebrate You, Women Embracing Women. We are having a gala coming up February 6th. Put it down in your calendar, wherever you got to write it down, put it down because we want you to be there. We are some amazing women. 9 women are going to be basically treated with royalty because we know that they have done some amazing things last year that we are honoring them. And then that same day, there's going to be a Woman of the Year pick, Celebrate You Woman of the Year pick for 2020. So these women are like, they've been out there and showing themselves, and we've been promoting them and everything. But the biggest thing out of the whole thing is with the money that's being for excuse me, it costs $10 to get into the gala, and every proceeds are going to a charity called Help Heal Humanity. And like we say, we want to always, we do things in life. We work in our business, we work in our personal life, but it's so nice to do the giving. So we are going to be giving to a wonderful organization for this wonderful gala. But you have to come. You got to buy a ticket, and I'll have some information below. So I'm bringing on some of the women and the visionary and co-founder of Celebrate You, so we can just talk to them a little bit and see how they're doing, and so you know who they are. So when you do come to the gala, hint hint, that you'll know exactly what they do. And with that, we're going to start right now before we introduce them.
Hi.
Ladies, how are we doing?
Fantastic.
Good.
I love
Good
music.
morning, everyone.
Good morning. We have in the house Misty Lane, Lindy Eldridge, and Lawana Bradford. Woo, woo, woo.
All right.
Yes,
And
yes.
woo, woo, woo.
Ladies are looking fabulous today. So we're going to get right into this because I want people to get to know you. And just to let everybody know, there's two ladies, wonderful ladies that are missing, but I always have a backup plan. You will see some text from them in a minute. So before we start, we want each woman to kind of just introduce themselves and just tell us what you do, and then we'll get right into a question regarding Celebrate You. So we'll start with Miss Lindy.
Well, Barbara, if I may, before Wendy introduces herself, I just want to say thank you, ladies, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on this show. You truly epitomize all that Celebrate You is. So we honor you and have so much love and respect for you. And I just encourage everyone to follow each of these women. If you want to know what iron sharpening iron looks like and what leveling up to the next like in life and business, these are the women to tap into. So again, we love you and appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Lawana. Thank you.
Thank you. And
All
that's
right.
the visionary and co-founder, Miss Lawana, just to let everybody know. So thank you, Lawana,
Yeah.
for that. And now we're going to go right straight to Misty.
All right. Well, hi, guys. My name is Misty Lane. I live down in Southeast Texas, and I'm a best-selling author of a book, What Goes Up. It's a life story about overcoming your worst to live your best. I'm also a speaker, award-winning speaker. I was in Toastmasters. I learned so much from that group and organization. And I now have a show, a TV talk show on E360 called Dare to Share with Misty Lane. Dare to Share with Misty Lane. It's a TV talk show every Tuesday and Thursday night at 6. As a matter of fact, I'm really happy to say Lindy is going to be the guest tomorrow night on my show. So I'm excited about that. But what Dare to Share is all about, it's all about having people step up and be that one to share their raw, authentic truth so that we can learn from each other's stories. We can inspire each other with our truth, because sugar-coated versions of what happened to us is not going to help anyone. I'm all about getting the people to just, I really dare them to push the envelope and dig deep and talk about the truth so that we can learn from each other and judge less and mentor more. So I'm really excited about that. My whole platform is built on transparency. And so that's who I am and what I'm about. And I'm honored to be here, and very honored and humbled to be chosen amongst these other 8 great women.
Awesome. And yeah, we're neighbors because we're on the same platform. So it's awesome to be a part of what you're doing with Dare to Share. Because like I said, your stories are so important and so valuable for others. So thank you for being that, advocate, Misty, for doing that for people. Awesome.
Thank you. And I want to add one more thing. Because of COVID last year, I didn't get to roll out my next plan of action, but it's still there waiting as soon as we are allowed to do it. I am starting women's empowerment retreats. They're called Write to Ignite, because writing my book is what I tell people is the therapy that saved my life. And so I'm all about teaching other people to use writing as a tool in their life for whatever they need it for. So these empowerment retreats are going to be small, 25 women or less, very intimate. I tell people there's going to be ugly crying around the campfire. We're just going to get in there woman to woman and let that guard down and be who we are inside. Not have to pretend, not have to get too fancied up to impress anybody. It's just about woman to woman, talking about struggles that we go through every day and learning how to deal with them. And then using that writing, using art therapy, using meditation. So I'm real excited about these 3-day retreats that I'm praying will roll out this summer.
Wonderful, Misty. That is fabulous. I can't wait. I'm going to be signing up first.
Yeah.
We got
Yay.
Yeah. So we got an extra guest on with Lindy.
Aww.
You don't refuse love. You don't refuse love.
Always loves the spotlight. Always.
That's right.
So Miss Lindy,
you never refuse love. That's all I can say. Misty, you are an amazing inspiration to the world. Barbara and Luana, you are the queens of Celebrate You. You make it happen. I am so blessed, favored, and honored to be a part of you. You have no idea. We are all so busy, right? Just getting our lives in order with the coronavirus. And you two are unstoppable. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything. I mean, everything that you do. You're a gift to every single person in the world. Men, women, children, it doesn't matter. Even Ziggy, you are very, very special to me. Don't ever forget that. Please don't ever forget that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now this is supposed to be about you, so I want you to.
I know she brought a tear to my eye. I'm like, wow. You know what makes life very special? When it's not about you. When it's not about me. And that's who I am. You know, I'm the Chief Happiness Officer of the Happiness Jungle. I'm the host of a podcast called I'm Crazy, But You Can't Lock Me Up. And what that means is that I love how people have created their lives no matter what. When they were told that they were crazy, they were foolish, they said, crazy, foolish, I'm going over to the next club where they're crazy, foolish, and they believe in themselves. So that's what the podcast is all about. But ladies and gentlemen, I am a keynote speaker and an author. I am a creator of an amazing emotional support body pillow, and now the creator of a 3D virtual vision experience. So this is what I'm working on. So who's Lindy Eldridge? Lindy Eldridge is a woman who cares about you. And that's how I live my life every single day. And I love to be a part of greater change. And that's really who I am in a nutshell. And when I surround myself around phenomenal women like the three of you, like every woman that is a part of Celebrate You know, I always want to call it Celebrity You. Do you know that?
Well, I think that's prophetic. That's prophetic, right? We're going to be spotlighted so much the world will see us.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so, I like that.
Yeah, well, it's true because we celebrate each other because we become the celebrities of our world. And that makes me very, very happy. So celebrity pushes out there, but we do love to celebrate. And I love to celebrate everybody and their accomplishments and for them to be able to move into their shine. And that's what I'm good at. I'm sticking to that.
Awesome, awesome. I'm telling you, I'm a kid in the candy store. I love talking to these wonderful, great women. So, I mean, before we go into our next question, we have two other ladies. I want to bring theirs on first just to get to know Nancy Matthews. She's another lady that's being honored on that day. And she's coming through us via video. So here she comes, and we'll be right back.
Barbara.
Good evening. We are back for day 6 of Celebrate 700 Live. I am so excited. I am Luana Bradford, co-founder and visionary of Celebrate You, where we believe that women should be embracing the power of themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially so that they can elevate to the highest version of themselves and to impact the lives of the family, the community, the nation, and ultimately the world. And I'm taking this off, so in case there's feedback, we don't want to have that. And I'm here to
The joys of technology.
introduce a powerhouse, a mover and a shaker, influencer, change agent, trailblazer. This is the woman that you want to know. You want to have her on your team as a partner, the amazing, dynamic Nancy Matthews. And she is the co-founder, visionary of Women's Prosperity Network, author of The One Philosophy, international bestseller, speaker. Just an amazing, amazing gift that we have here today. I'm so honored that she has chosen to be a part of us, but there's one other little special piece. She is also Celebrate You Woman of the Month for September. Yay!
Yay! Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm going to get out of the way of greatness and allow Nancy to share some inspiration and motivation on living the way of the one. Nancy, take it away.
Thank you, Lawana. I am so grateful to be here with all of you in this Celebrate You community. And I'm going to begin by giving a shout out. And I want you, as you're watching this, do a favor for me, for yourself, and for every other woman in this community. And let's celebrate the co-founders of Celebrate You. They are leaders worth following, who lead by the example of lifting others. So everybody celebrate, as you're watching, our amazing co-founders. And then let's move on and celebrate every other woman that is part of this community. And heck, let's celebrate every woman in the world. And as Lawana shared, I am the author of a book, little tiny book, which you see in the background there, a little tiny book called The One Philosophy.
So that was from Nancy Matthews. I'm so glad that we still was able to have her on because we want to celebrate you not just on February 6th, but on the show, let everybody know who you are. So before we get into, I want to go to Luana real quickly because I hear feedback. Sorry about that. Luana, real quickly, can you just explain just real quick about Celebrate You before we ask the ladies some other questions?
Yes, well, I did, in the intro to Nancy, but definitely I will say it again, is the one thing about Celebrate You, it's a movement that is designed to create a platform that enhances women to be the best versions of themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, because we know in order to affect change, it sometimes takes money, right? But also we know that once a woman has embodied all of these things in her life, then she is able to impact the lives of her family, the community, the nation, and the world. So ultimately, we're about being the change that we want to see in the world. We're starting first within, and then we're extending and touching the world all around us. And it's just an honor and a privilege to be a part of the community of brilliance.
Awesome. Thank you, Luana. I always want to stress to people how much is so important, as she said, to celebrate you. A lot of times we forget, we're so busy being those queens or royalty that we forget to just take a step back and say, you know what? I think I've been doing okay. I need to look pat myself on the back, and that's okay to do that. That is okay. Just a little bit like, yeah, I'm good today. So just make sure that you do that. I like the little hugs. So with that, now talking about Celebrate You, that's what I want to get into with the ladies. So the biggest thing is we always ask, what is Celebrate You to you? So what does that really mean to you, Celebrate You to you? So I'm going to start with Lindy. I think Misty is.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. So what is Celebrity You? As soon as I hear Celebrity You, I immediately think of you too. I mean, it's just that connection, right? So are we talking about the Celebrity You group, or are we talking about the overabundance of celebrating yourself?
Just celebrating yourself.
Overall, yes. Celebrating yourself. Okay. So when you have to acknowledge you and your greatness, whatever that greatness is, you have to acknowledge it because you have very unique qualities that nobody else has. And we cannot compare ourselves to others because we have no idea what happened behind their closed doors and how they became who they became. when we celebrate ourselves, we give ourselves permission to shine brighter than ever. When we acknowledge who we truly are, when we really gravitate towards that, the world opens up for you. There was a time in my life when I had very, very low self-esteem. I loved people. I loved being out in the world. But when I looked in the mirror, I didn't see what other people saw in me until I really dug deep into personal development and investing in myself, attending seminars, reading, and understanding that I'm special, I'm unique, and I don't deserve to be treated any less than. And when you put yourself on this pedestal, a lot of people think, oh no, I can't do that because people will think I'm all about myself. Give yourself permission to be all about yourself. When you give yourself permission to be all about yourself, you will find that in the world, it even is brighter for you. So each moment that you live your life every single day, it's going to be special because at night, you get to take to bed a very unique, special person that has done something in that day to help somebody have a brighter tomorrow. You've got greatness within you. I want you all to shine and realize that don't ever give anyone permission to steal your happiness. And don't make it your responsibility to make anybody else happy. It's not your responsibility. As long as you walk your walk and you are who you are accomplishing, setting forth the goals and walking in your power, you're going to have what you want. But Rome wasn't built in a day. Your life wasn't built in a day. And when I talk to a lot of my clients and friends, they're like, well, how do I change? And I'm like, how old are you? And they tell me their age. So I'll use my age. I'm 60 years old. I said, it took me 60 years to be like this. So your change is a slight edge philosophy. But if you work on yourself a little bit each and every day, within 30 days, you're going to feel the spark. In 60 days, you're going to see the sparkles. And on the 90th day, it is going to be like the 4th of July in your life. So don't be so hard on yourself. Celebrate you each and every day. However you want to, just make sure you do it for you. That's my words.
Wow.
I love it.
I love it. So well put. So well put. I love how you said, Lenny, that it takes time. Don't rush it. Learn yourself. It gradually comes up. Like you said, it took us how long? And we're still learning. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, I know Misty is away for a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to go via, oh, wait a minute. I think I see her. Hey, Misty.
Hi, guys. I'm sorry. I'm being called away to start an IV for them down in the ER. They can't get. So I'm going to have to go back out. I just wanted to let you know where I was. I had to run. I'm at work. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. See, you're doing your genius. You're working it. You're being that amazing woman. So thank you so much.
And Misty, thank you so much for being one of the angels out there that are helping us get through this horrific time of our lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Love you.
Celebrate.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but I got to go. They really need me. But if you're still on, I'm going to leave it running. If you're still on, when I get back, I'll jump back on, okay?
Okay. Love you.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
She's one of the most amazing women that I've ever had the opportunity to have a wonderful conversation with. And now, she's saying she's sorry for being at work at a hospital. Oh, no, sorry.
I know. I don't get it. She's helping so many people. She's sorry. Like, no, Misty, you're doing your thing. So
tell you who she is, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Definitely.
I wonder why she's on the panel of Women of the Month to make it to Women of the Year, right?
Right.
Extraordinary.
Right.
Extraordinary. And you know what? Everybody in Celebrate You, they're extraordinary. And I want everyone to step into the greatness, because next year you're going to be a part of the Celebration You Gala that we are going to acknowledge your greatness. I'm sorry, I'm taking the platform.
No, that's what this is all about. It's about sharing,
Yeah. You see,
I
we're
love
just taking it in. but
just
but
love
before
celebrating
we
people.
but before I want to make sure because we have another via live video from Tony Winston. She's another lady that's being honored as one of the 9 of the ladies on February 6th. So let's hear from her real quickly, and we'll be right back.
I haven't got many travel clients, but you've given me enough material where I can work behind the scenes and grow my business. Whether I grow a partner or a travel client, I can go both ways, and I love it. I just sat here and took a few notes of some things that you guys brought up that I didn't think of, so thank you so very much. I also love the fact that you ran the PR for 30 days. We have now currently 700 people in Celebrate You. So I can take a lot of the videos that I've done for over a year, even though they don't have any dates on them, and I can repurpose those. And I just got a lot of ideas to see here thinking about that. Also, I love the fact that you guys did survey me and ask me for a testimonial. I love that part because I get an opportunity to speak on things that people are a member of our group, but they don't really fully understand what you, Barbara, Lulu, and Gwen actually do. They know you guys started this beautiful group, but they don't understand all the things you guys do behind the scenes to help us, those of us who are business owners. Also, I love everything that you guys do because it's so professional, so well thought out, and it encouraged me to be a better entrepreneur as well. So thank you, ladies.
That was the lovely Tony Winston. She was part of one of our PR trainings, and at the end, she just really expressed how much she appreciated training, how she's growing, how her business is growing, and just she's just a whole new person. That's why she was picked as one of the ladies of the month for Celebrate You. So that was truly an honor. So with
Yeah,
that,
and I just want to say the one thing about Celebrate You, it's really about when you become a part of the community, you challenge yourself to grow to the next level. And Tony was one that would never ever get in front of the camera. And so for her to just now comfortably express her truth, that's a wow moment. It's a wow moment.
That's
it's
what
like,
you ladies do for people. You know, in Celebrate You, you have so many different educators, right? That share their knowledge, and we get to experience this. I'm always a student. I will be a student until the good Lord takes me back, and then I'm going to have to learn how to get into the pearly gates. So I guess I'm going to continue to be a student. But it is. I want everybody to celebrate you, because seriously, since you girls have been going on, the knowledge, the education, the support, and watching the women of change, that's what it's about. There are so many platforms on Facebook and all over the place, right? But they're not real. And you could feel it and you could see it. But here in this community, between you two having the biggest hearts ever, you pour into us, and look at us. We're like a garden with that have been planted seeds, and you keep harvesting on us, bit, 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 and then all of a sudden we start growing. It's like the bamboo, right? It takes 5 years for a bamboo to even give the first little shoot, and then it just grows like crazy, right?
Right.
How I feel about you girls. You pour in, pour in, pour in, and you keep harvesting and nurturing the community, and then all of a sudden the little sprout sticks up. And then we keep being students of yours, and then all of a sudden, boom. So I love that.
well, I'm just, like I said, I'm just speechless. I just love just, first of all, just getting to know each and every one of you, just seeing the amazing and genius that you bring out of yourself, that you celebrate you and you help others and you support and you work and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that's why we are so honored to honor you, all the 9 ladies, on February 6th from 5 to 7 Eastern Time. As you see, I have the little tick word below so you can buy your tickets. And as we said before, all the proceeds, all the money is going to help heal humanity. They are helping so many children out there in all the world, not just in the US, but in all areas of the world. I mean, they're going in the trenches and helping these children, helping with food, education, helping women that are out there, just don't know, can find their way. They're making sure that they're there for them. So I just want to really just let everybody know that this is not just, okay, just doing a gala and you're paying money. This is to a charity. This is to help the world. And these women, all these women on this panel and has been coming on, has been helping the community and the world. So I thank you. And I think Misty's coming back on, but I want to get her real quickly because I wanted to explain. Hey, Misty.
Hi.
Real quickly, I know you might have to go away again and we're about to wrap up. But before we wrap up, there was a question I did ask Lindy and the other ladies of what do you think Celebrate is to you? What is Celebrate you is for you?
Celebrate You to me is a community of women that lift each other up. It's a judgment-free zone. And I love that about it because there's so many people, women especially, tend to be in competition with each other, or we're envious or, just being real, being transparent. We think we want what the other has all the time. And we tend to judge ourselves based on what we don't feel we have that someone else does. And what I love about Celebrate You is that we learn to appreciate each other's values for what they are instead of trying to compete with them. And I love the community for that reason. I also love the leadership in the community because you guys are such go-getters. I mean, it's boom, boom, boom. You're on top of it. You're active. Your group is active. I mean, there's a lot of women's groups I belong to, but this one is very unique because the leadership is paving a path. It's showing us a blueprint of what a true strong woman looks like. And I'm grateful for that. And that's why I love this group. And one more note is, and I said this in my video, is when my mom was diagnosed with cancer this Christmas, I had to just kind of drop off, for a while and stayed in the hospital with her for 11 days. And members of this community that I'm not even necessarily close with, but members of this community were sending me messages. They were sending me prayers. They were sending me songs, just lifting me up and letting me know that no matter what we're going through, that they were behind me in it. And that is just, I didn't get that from any other group. Let me just say, this was just truly unique, and that's what it means to me.
Thank you, Misty. Well, yeah, we continue to send prayers out to you, and you're just queens. I mean, I just have to say, you're all just queens. We appreciate you so much, and thank you for coming back on. I said I want to catch her. I know she said she might be back, so I want to make sure you came back on and said your truth on Celebrate You. So with that, ladies, we will see everybody at the gala February 6th. Getting excited?
Yes.
Everybody excited?
Woo. Yes.
Going off from the rooftop. Get your bling on, shine like a diamond.
Fantastic.
I love that.
I love you, girls. I love you, ladies.
You all take care. I love you.
Thank you all so much.
Very soon. Take care.
Blessings.
Okay. Bye. See you tomorrow night, Lindy.
I'm hanging on your every word. The love inside, I feel it burn. I've never felt this way before. I've had a taste, now I want more. So here we are, just you and me. I'm overwhelmed when you touch me. You talk so sweet, I hear the sound. 'Cause when you do, my feet won't touch the ground. My feet won't touch the ground.
Yes, it's always a party. We're always a party at the Diamond Factory Experience show. So yes, as you've seen, some wonderful, fabulous ladies are being honored February 6th. It's from 5 to 7 Eastern Time. It is virtual. You can buy your tickets, $10 per ticket. Invite yourself, your family, whoever you can think of. We are celebrating these ladies. We're going to deem to see who the Woman of the Year is for Celebrate You. Also, you'll see some clips about the There's a special sponsor, Cyrus Webb. He did some VIPs for some people. I mean, I'm telling you, we have made this a gala. And then also, you'll also see the charity that we have that all the monies are going to. And that's what we're really proud of. We're really proud that the fact that we can give this money to an organization that is helping the world. So let's come out and celebrate these ladies, get to know the ladies. I know I brought them on periodically, but I wanted to make sure you get to see who they are, see what they talk about when it's talking about celebrate you. And we're always saying that, it is important to do that. So with that, I will have to sign off, but I will be back on Friday. We'll be back on Friday. And remember, as I always say, remember who you are, that PPD in you, that purpose, that passion, and that drive that is your foundation to move you not just within yourself and your goals and your dreams and your aspirations, but also to help others because they need that PPD from you. They need that diamond factor, I call it, to shine. So you can shine, they can shine, you can shine, and everybody shines around the world. See you on Friday. Bye.